tenant use.
Good morning. It is February the 10th, and it's 12:41 p.m. I'd like to discuss something about superintendents, and I find it curious that in Ontario, Canada, we do not require that they have a criminal background check, and at the very least, it should be with a vulnerable sector. And to me, this is a very, very troubling idea that we don't know if the person who has keys to our home is a rapist, is a serial killer, has ties to stealing things or criminal rings, or has a history of child abuse or such a thing. You have access to our home. You have keys to our home. We have seniors in this building. There's 225 units in this building. There are buildings that have bigger larger amounts of apartments. There are some that are smaller, but regardless, you have a lot of sensitive documents. Let's say you have somebody who works at the airport. Now you've got a Ministry of Transport access cards to get to the airport. What if somebody gets a hold of that? How about a valid passport? That's worth a lot of money in the criminal background, in the criminal underground. All sorts of things, sensitive documents, things like that. You have access to our homes, and yet we don't know if you have a criminal background check or not. It's not required by law, so they don't require it. As a matter of fact, I've seen multiple listings of superintendents' jobs in the last couple of years, and what I see is absolutely zero question whether or not they have a criminal background or not. We've asked our manager at the time, a couple of years back, or a year and a half back, and he told us it was none of our business, basically, which I find very surprising, because to me, if we have children, if we have seniors, people with mental disability, people that are ill, we need to know, do you have a big criminal background? And just because the law says you don't require it, which to me baffles me. I don't understand why that is not the case. Doesn't mean you should not at least do it for best practices. And the other thing also is, in many instances, I've had an argument with this guy, our superintendent. I've had heat issues in here, for the past few months, since November, and they haven't done anything about it. They basically ignore me, and it's not just me; it's the entire building. Everybody, it's not true. It doesn't happen. And all of a sudden they're getting pressure from the city, and then now they want to come in last minute. Well, I'm sorry, you're supposed to give me 24 hours notice. You did not. I don't even know. It just says that on my notice that we need to address your concerns. Well, I have other concerns, like why wasn't I given my keypad code for the front door? I asked for that a couple of weeks ago. How come they're not vacuuming the carpets? That's a concern of mine. Why are they building a building in front of us and ruining an extra 5 years? That's a major concern of mine. Why do they not advise us that they're going to be shutting down the water by giving us letters to the door so that we actually know that this is going on? That's another concern of mine. I have a lot of concerns. So when you're addressing concerns, what concerns are you talking about? Because they've already discussed with the city that they said, well, we got things that are going on where you already know that there is no problem in that unit because we have sensors, and the sensors are saying everything's fine. But they don't have any sensors in my unit. And all sensors were installed in inappropriate places. If they are some, they're putting them as high as possible near the door. I'm sorry, anybody that actually does any monitoring is going to be doing it a meter height in the middle of the room. That's not what they're doing. Now, my main major concern is obviously at 10 p.m. at night, he's telling me that I've got proper notification for the next day. No, you don't. It's 24 hours. And I mean, a simple 24-hour notice, he's not even able to comprehend how that works. Maybe if they were licensed, that could be prevented. Like simple issues like this could be avoided. Like, hey, you need to have sensitivity to the law. You need to have a license, something that can be revoked if you're not doing your job properly. Because right now all we're doing is we're dealing with management who's saying, well, we're going to have a conversation. I'm sure you will have a conversation with him, but meanwhile, he's doing the same thing today. He'll do the same thing tomorrow. He'll do the same thing next week, next month, that he's been doing for the last 2.5 years. So when is this going to be addressed? And this is not just an us issue. This is throughout Canada. I don't understand. I don't know if there's any places outside of Ontario that do require superintendents to have a criminal background check. But I just, for me, I cannot understand under any circumstances why the law doesn't require that they are bonded and that they are verified for any criminality, things that would endanger the community and people that are vulnerable in this community. I think the government is dropping the ball on this one. Let me know what you think. Please, respond at the bottom. Let me know what you think, and we'll take it from here. Rebel Tenant out.